And we're live. Welcome again to the Team Tank podcast. We are broadcasting after a tremendous performance. The Lakers were not interested at all in showing up in Cleveland. I can't blame them. Cleveland sucks. So we have with us today, we have Gary, who ran the tweet account today, and somehow has a super fan. Gary, would you like to talk about that?
I'm still trying to figure out who started all that. I'm still thinking it's one of you guys, but I was actually out and about last night in Boise, and I saw that come across. I thought it was just an accounts that you get that just like follows Gary's or something. I actually looked at it, and it was just dedicated to me. I laughed so hard when I saw that.
Is that something like Boise's favorite son or something?
I guess.
That was incredible. I got like Gary Nation or something follows me, and I'm like, wow, Gary, like a couple cocktails or something, but I guess that wasn't you.
Yeah, I just thought you must have been really bored or something to like make a fan page for yourself to advocate you running the Team Tank Twitter account today.
Yeah, well, when I saw it, I was just like, what the hell is this? Like, what is going on?
And then we also have with us Harrison, who ran Silver Screen and Rolls tweet account today. What were your takeaways from the game?
Well, the Lakers played awful, but we all know that. I guess like all Kevin Love really needed to get himself going was to play against the Lakers defense. You know, Jalen was calling them the Los Angeles Generals at halftime, and like that's the kind of thing as a fan you almost want to get mad at, but you really can't. I mean, it's accurate. So, I mean, Lakers Twitter has turned on Nick Young like that. It is just like they're done with him now. Like most of the people that I saw. It's a major turnaround from last year when he was like everyone's favorite player, and yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed. I thought I had a fire tweet, but I don't know if you guys saw, but Chipotle got hacked last night.
Yes, I definitely saw that.
I said that the Lakers offered Nick Young to Chipotle, Nick Young and an updated firewall to Chipotle for a free burrito. They didn't even have to throw in free guac, and they turned us down.
You got to hold out for free guac, though. Otherwise,
have you seen Nick Young play? I mean, he was 0 for 54 tonight.
It's the firewall. That's what's valuable in the trade.
I mean, the theory has been thrown out there as much as anything, but he doesn't get himself any easy shots, and Byron doesn't know how to design an offense that involves screens because they're for, ninnies. And yeah, I mean, poor Nick is, just out there shooting step back threes and pull up long twos. I can't believe he's cold. Who are your nominees for Tank General today, guys?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I would just say really the whole defense, I guess, just leaving guys wide open just time after time. That three-point barrage that Cleveland went on in the third quarter just kind of broke the Lakers back, and they just kept leaving guys wide open, and yeah, I mean, just defensively, it was just awful to watch, but obviously good for the Tank.
And then who would you nominate? I mean, the defense is a great nominee. I don't know if it gets any better than that, but can you think of anybody? Harrison?
I mean, like, no, honestly, like, my biggest nominee is just Byron, if we're being real, and like, I know I'm one of his Twitter haters now that on the Instagrams and the Facebooks, but that are using them as weapons to just criticize people, but I mean, like, maybe he needs to look in a mirror and understand there's like a reason that people are criticizing him. It's not just because we don't like him. Like, we didn't just like decide to not like Byron as a person. It's like what he's doing, and Yeah, like playing Ryan Kelly at the three because he shoots threes and so he can't possibly be a power forward. And then having him like guard LeBron James and then just being like, oh, okay, he's getting torched. Like, let me put Tarek Black on him. Like,
Well, I don't know if you guys knew this, but only positions whose number is at, or below the number 3 is allowed to shoot threes. So, like, the 5 can't shoot threes, the 4 can't shoot threes, but because 1, 2, and 3 is lower, that's Byron's rule. That's what he's thinking here.
yeah.
Those positions are the only ones who can fire from behind the arc. We were talking a little bit before we came on today about, Kyrie going over and talking to Byron. You have to wonder if he's telling him he's shooting too many threes at this point in his career. Enjoy those playoffs, Kyrie, but you will not win a championship that way. So I guess we'll move on to the bright side of the game. Harrison, I guess it's Jordan Clarkson, right? He played.
Oh, yeah.
Again.
Yeah, easily. I don't think it's really even close with like anyone. Like I was writing the recap for Silver Screen and Roll, and he was the only like positively, other than Tarek Black, who actually like had a pretty nice first half, but he was really the only like positive from this game at all, and really the only reason left to watch the team if we're being real. I mean, like I don't know. Do either of you have like another player that you're out there just like you really want to see? Like that's it for me. I mean, I guess Kelly, maybe a little bit, but.
You go ahead, Gary. I know Kevin Ding posted that question, and I had my own response for him.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like guys that you want to see, obviously Clarkson's the number one guy, and just the young guys in general. I thought overall Ed Davis was pretty solid today. Obviously he's not. We're not watching him as closely as we are Jordan Clarkson just because of really the future that Clarkson might have, and we don't know if Ed Davis is going to be here beyond next year. But I thought today Ed Davis was pretty solid, coming off the bench, and I don't know what his final stat line was, but I think he had 14.
He got 6. I pulled up the box score right here. He actually got like 6 and 7. That's pretty good. That was quiet, but it was good. It was effective. He only played 24 minutes, but.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it makes it tough to answer this question because Ryan Kelly isn't being used properly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you were playing at the 4, it would be that much more tolerable, or I would actually pay attention more to what he's trying to do out there. But so long as he's playing the 3 and getting torched by basically everybody he guards, right? I mean, it takes away from his overall value, both for us watching and just in general, his value moving forward. I would say another bright spot in all of this was Kevin Love making 3-pointers to ensure his future team gets their top 5 draft pick. That was good to see that he's really helping out the organization he looks forward to joining in the offseason.
That's future thinking right there.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously a Laker at heart.
Yeah, I mean, I thought at some point LeBron might tell him to stop making 3-pointers. I mean, don't make it so obvious already, I guess the other little bit that I'd like to get at is, and I know Harrison alluded to it earlier, but Byron's stance on tanking, which goes completely against what he's actually doing out there, right? I would never outwardly try to lose games, but I'm going to totally start, these 5 guys that are by far the least talented unit that I could possibly put out there. What were your thoughts of Byron's description of the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the Twitters, and the social medias?
I mean, it's like it's a little insulting, and he's trying to kind of almost infantilize us, I mean, he's basically saying like it's that old like athlete trope of like if you haven't played the game or you haven't been in the locker room, you don't get to like say anything. You don't know what you're talking about, and like that's just not accurate. Like anyone can see playing Ryan Kelly at the 3 is a horrible idea, or I mean, I guess anyone but Byron. But like this guy, it's almost like like an old man telling you to get off his lawn at this point. Like he's an actor pretending to be a coach. I said it earlier this year, he's like doing his best Coach Carter impression. Like
Gary, did you have anything, any other kind of response to it?
It just made me laugh. I just kind of like kind of going what back to what Harrison said. It's just like he's still stuck back in his heyday, when he was playing and how things used to be, and just I guess he's just not in 2015, and it's just funny. It just gets funnier every day. Just I guess with all the things that he says.
Yeah, couldn't you guys totally see Byron walking down the street with one of those old brick cell phones? Like checking his pager and then like rocking that, he has like the battery pack on one hip, a pager on the other, and then he has this huge like football phone, just because they don't make technology like they used to.
Touchscreens don't win championships.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great. All right, so I guess we'll quickly hit on some of the questions that we have to us. Daniel L., a frequent tweeter of mine,
Possibly our biggest fan.
probably. So shouts to Daniel. Is asking, is Clarkson so far displaying starter point guard ability? Ed Davis, Sacre individual post defense underrated, and if we know whether or not Randall has been practicing. I don't have any kind of information on Randall practicing, though I'd imagine he's taking treatment, whenever he can.
I don't think he's moving yet. I think he's still in the boot.
Well, I mean, you can still take like physical therapy and stuff.
Yeah, but I thought by practicing he meant actually like basketball stuff rather than just rehab.
I'd imagine the Lakers' lame-ass Twitter feed would that'd be on the top of their priorities to take some video of Randall shooting a mid-range jumper, and making no joke about it whatsoever.
Jokes don't win championships either.
We found out who was running the Laker Twitter feed. Did you guys see? Did you guys see today? They tweeted out the score of the end of the third quarter when there was 30 seconds left in the game. Oh, I died. Oh, that was incredible.
No, I missed that.
Oh, it was so great. I mean, they had Ryan Kelly in some like first step move, and he's ready to go on the wing, and it's like 84-96 going into the fourth, and the game's over.
Yeah.
Gary, what do you think about the first question here? Would you say, Clarkson, do you think he could be a starting point guard moving forward? We have a little bit of a sample size at this point.
Yeah, just based off of what we've seen, I think he can. And if he doesn't play point, obviously we talked about it before, he can play the point or at the two. So he's got the size and the versatility to do both. And I think that'll really help his case, trying to become a starter, down the road. But he's really shown a lot, and he seems to be getting better each and every day. He'll have, some setbacks here and there like most rookies do. But I've been really impressed with him, especially today, because it seemed like he just kind of did a little bit of everything. And that was kind of the knock on him before today, I guess, is like he'll have games where he has 1 assist or 3 rebounds, something like that. And today it seemed like he kind of put it all together. But I think he's making a case that he should get a shot, down the road. Obviously, once the roster improves. But I like what I see so far.
I would completely agree with you. I wouldn't say that he has played so well that he's just penciled in as a starting point guard next year, but he at least gets to compete for it. I would say, right, Harrison?
Yeah, I would 100% agree. I think that he really is like a combo guard when you look at his size. He can go between either of them, so it's almost dangerous to say just from that aspect to slot him in at one of the starting guard spots going forward, because I think that he has the potential to be able to play either. And we do have to factor in today, like he did play very well today, but we do have to factor in that Kyrie Irving was guarding him. So.
Yeah, and then the other two guard for most of the game is J.R. Smith, so not exactly defensive stalwarts there.
Not powerhouses there, but he was he was challenging Mozgov at the rim, and he's gotten a lot better at finishing, which was after his first 2 starts. I wrote a little piece just to do a shameless plug, but I wrote a little piece just kind of breaking down each of his shots so far. And that was one of his biggest issues, was the first couple games he was just really having a hard time converting those looks at the rim, and today he did a much better job of it. He missed a couple, but he did a better job.
There was also that brief vine. I mean, I guess he missed the dunk, but he tried a 360 windmill from like 2 steps in from the free throw line. The Lakers haven't had a point guard with that kind of athleticism that I can think of. I mean, because Nick was a pretty quick athlete, you know, but he wasn't a vertical kind of guy. Magic was just freaking Magic. He didn't need to be an athlete. He was 6'9".
Yeah.
I can't think of any off the top of my head that rival that kind of athleticism. So that's fun to see. I mean, that's always a good place to at least start. You can't coach athleticism. And then finally, I guess the last bit of this question here is, you know, talking about Ed Davis and Sacre's individual post game being underrated. They were guarding Timothy Mozgov. Like, let's take it easy there. You know, Ed Davis. He gets off the ground and he has pretty good timing when he's blocking shots. Sacre has less than no court awareness. Gary and I joked the other day that if he was a my player and they rated his court awareness, it'd be like a 3. They aren't very good. At least Sacre isn't very good. I like Ed Davis as a player, but Sacre is sacrilegious. What do you guys got?
Yeah, I'm kind of over the whole Robert Sacre experiment that's been going on for the past few years. It's just he's a good guy like on the end of your bench to have, I guess, but you know, I guess when he's starting and getting all these minutes, and I obviously understand why, but really that's like the best that his role is going to be, is just being a good guy on the end of the bench.
Couldn't you guys see Robert Sacre as one of like the 5 centers Shaq would foul out back in the 3P era?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of that should be kind of his role. He's that guy that you put in at the end of the third quarter to take a couple fouls.
Yeah, go grab DeAndre Jordan.
Just don't embarrass yourself and like take a couple fouls. Like that's his role, I think.
Exactly. I felt kind of bad for this tweet, but Mike Tirico, you know, briefly alluded to the defensive effort being akin to a summer league game, and right then Sacre hit a jumper, and I said he feels right at home. Those are his fond memories of playing in the NBA.
That's cold.
That's my bad. I apologize, Rob. You know, you're a great dancer. We'll get to the next question here. We have kind of a similar question we've talked about a couple times here, but if we land a third, or if the Lakers land a third pick overall, Okafor and Towns are gone, who would you choose, Stanley, Moutier, or Russell? I've already said I think Stanley's going to be a really, really good player at a really valuable position, but, you know, Russell has also shown his just, you know, great offensive awareness and all that. So, you know, which way would you guys go with? I'd stay away from Moutier.
With the third?
Yeah, so we Towns and Okafor would be gone, I'd imagine, at the third pick.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'd go with, I haven't watched a tremendous amount of Russell yet, but I'd probably go with Johnson. Just because, like you said, like I think that the wing position, if you can get like a stud there, that's the most valuable position. It's the least kind of fungible position in the league. If you have like a stud on the wing, that can guard other superstar threes, like can hit threes of his own, like that kind of thing. Like that's really valuable. I think point guards are a little easier to come by, and you can get by with kind of an average big man.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Gary?
Well, I mean, I agree that like if you can get like a star wing, like you kind of have to do it. But just the more and more I watch DeAngelo Russell, I fall more in love with his game. To me, every game he goes out, he seems to play better and better, and he just starts to. It seems like he just figures things out better, you know, as he goes along in the season. And his game is just so smooth, you know, for how young he is, being a college freshman. I mean, he has such a high basketball IQ. He handles himself really well, and he just understands how to play. And I just love that about him. Plus his size, he's 6'5". You know, he's like he could like Clarkson, he could play with that 1 or the 2. And I mean, to me he has more of the total package as a player. Obviously Stanley's the better defender, and he's got amazing size for a 3, but just his shooting ability, IQ, passing, just everything. I would take DeAngelo Russell number 3.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the major message here is how important it is to get to that 3 spot. Because I don't know, would you guys agree that after that 3 or 4 spot, it's kind of a drop off, right? Like Moutier has potential, and he looked pretty good in those bits that we saw. But if you can get at 3 or 4, one of those 4 guys that would potentially drop down to you, it makes your franchise. I guess that is about it. We just quickly preview Tuesday's matchup with Denver. Just keep this ball rolling. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have a somewhat of a playoff beard going since they've gone on this 3-game winning streak. My face is itchy as heck, but you know what? We make these sacrifices for the team we love. What would you say are your keys to victory against Denver, Harrison?
I mean, let's keep starting Ryan Kelly at the 3, I guess. That's gonna be a tough one because it really seems like Denver's quit on Brian Shaw, not Byron Shaw. See what Byron's doing to me. But Brian Shaw, he seems to be kind of going through the same thing, and where the players are just because the Nuggets are so much better than we are. Like it really isn't close if you look at the talent in their lineup. Like it's kind of a joke that they're like getting back into this tank race. Like they should be better. I mean, they weren't going to make the playoffs, but they should be way better than the Lakers are. But I think it's going to be a tough one to lose because they've just been so bad lately. They just aren't. They just go out there and basically stand there on defense, from what I've seen, and they just don't want to play. Like they're tired of having their manhood called out.
Yeah. Is there a good former Laker coaching right now? No, right? Like Fisher's been a fiasco. I know you guys saw that Vine of playing the same rules.
Yeah.
Shorts on just like you do.
That was amazing.
I mean, thanks Hoosiers. And then Byron is obviously Byron, and then Brian sounds a lot like Byron. So.
Like, does Jerry West count? I'm sure that he gives the Splash Brothers tips every once in a while. Like.
Yeah, I guess with this next coaching search after Byron, we're just stay away from former Lakers. That's a good idea.
I think that Byron is. I think like they may be trying to prove the point that a former Laker is not just necessarily the answer, and so they just hired Byron.
That's it. Point well taken, Lakers.
Yeah, you've done it. We get it.
We're on board.
I've been in a fetal position for 3 straight months watching this guy coach. I get it. I understand. Gary, can you think of any other keys to victory on Tuesday?
Just playing with less effort than the Nuggets do, which is hard to do for a team that's coming back from a road trip. But maybe they'll be jet lagged still 2 days later. I don't know, but. Because what really doesn't help too is that Denver plays the night before. They play tomorrow night against Oklahoma City. In Denver.
Yeah. So
that doesn't help, but maybe the Lakers will just come out lackadaisical in their first home game back, and just I don't know. And I don't know. Maybe we just have one of those games where we just shoot poorly and Denver's able to win. If Denver does win, I think it'll be a close game, but it's one of those games that doesn't look very good for us, but you never know. So.
Well, I mean, worst comes to worst, we could always try to get the game rescheduled in Denver so they could hang out with Willie Nelson a lot before the game. That would help.
Or maybe that's why Byron called them all soft after this game. He wants to like further distance them from wanting to give their all this year.
Yep, soft like pot brownies.
Yeah. Oh God.
All right, so So I guess that'll wrap up this episode, this rapid recap of Cavs Lakers. Thanks again to Harrison and Gary for joining. There's that one guy who followed us. He was our lucky number 300 follower. I think that might be part of the reason Rahul did not sign on with us today. He is in hiding because we put a date with Rahul on the line for whomever or whoever followed us at that lucky number 300 spot. And I guess at Sheetism threw out, potentially throwing a rotten tomato at one of us for whoever is our 400th follower. So I don't know. I guess I'll consider it. I hate tomatoes. A rotten one might make me throw up. But you know what? Again, just like this beard, I'll take one for the team.
I'm just surprised that we passed 299 followers after you said that, though.
Me too. Could you imagine we're just stuck at 299?
Yeah, they're just sitting there. Rahul's crying like.
Yeah. I mean, would you have put it past Rahul to potentially, create a Rahul's doll account and then have that be the 300th follower?
Wouldn't put it past him at all.
I mean, not that you have much room to Gary, or not that Gary has much room to talk with his Gary Nation account, but All right, guys. Thanks again for joining. Next show will be on Tuesday. We'll go Tuesday after the game, and stay tuned for further notice. We might have a couple more guests in the work. Like we mentioned last week, Mark Gonzalez from Fear LA is going to be joining us this week. We've also been in contact with Jabari A. Davis from Basketball Insiders. He's interested in joining the Team Tank podcast. Justin Russo of Clippers fame is also interested in joining. So, somehow people want to talk to us about tanking, despite Byron Scott rambling on and on about how terrible the Twitters are. So, thanks again, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, thanks.
See ya.